Good evening and welcome to J.J. Isaacson Field here in Omaha, where today we've got a matchup we saw just last week between the Bombers and the Cropdusters here in the Corn Belt League. Tyler Reidy alongside Max Coughlin. Welcome you inside the press box here at J.J. Isaacson. And Max, it's hot here in Omaha. It's the peak of June, the middle of June. We're getting that heat and that humidity, but we're pushing right through playing some baseball today.
It'd be an understatement if we said that it was warm out today, because that is the complete opposite. Right now it is a high of 99. I don't think we've seen that yet in Omaha this year so far.
No, it's going to be hot the rest of this week, starting with tonight, and the heat is picking up on the field as well. We've got a good matchup. Two teams trying to climb out of the bottom tier of the Corn Belt League to start the season, beginning with the visiting team on the scoreboard today, the Cropdusters. They're 1-4, already have fallen 3 games back of the Filth Ballers here in the standings, and the problem for them this year has been the offense. Batting average as a team well below 200, the OPS in the 500s. Got to get things started today, and with the heat and the wind blowing out to left field, today could be the day.
The one thing that the Cropdusters have for them going on the bump today is Thatcher Potee, one of their most impressive pitchers so far in this year. He pitched last week when against the Bombers, did amazing, came in for Anthony Comfort, tried to back him up, and he did as well as they beat the Bombers last week. Thatcher Potee runs that two-seam, four-seam mix with a nice slider. His two-seam has a lot of run that really gets in on the righties, has a lot of break to it, and also with it being a wood bat, that two-seam, when it gets inside and jams the righties, it does not really go well for the hitters.
And then meanwhile for the Bombers, coming in at 2-3, they're the home team on the scoreboard today, and they're coming off a wild game on Sunday afternoon against the Rail Riders, a 12-9 loss after they fell behind 11-0 after just 2 innings. And when you have a game like that where it's so long and there's so much offense, and you end up, despite nearly coming back, you still end up on the losing side of things, that can be pretty draining. So it'll be interesting to see how they come back today with Zane Layden on the mound.
That is a very true fact. And the thing is, when you get into those really big scoring games, and especially a problem for the Cropdusters is the amount of pitchers that they have on their team. Only 7 pitchers on the Cropdusters team this season so far, as it being one of the new teams in the Corn Belt League. Not a lot of players. It is the only team with 18 players on the team. Most every other team has around 23 or 24 players. So it is a big problem for the Cropdusters on the pitching side this year. Not many pitchers, and when you get into those high-scoring games, you got to go into the bullpen, and when you don't have that many guys to pitch, it sort of becomes a problem. And how long can you keep a guy in for his pitch count? How long can you go until you just basically run out of pitchers?
All right, so we'll take a quick pause for the national anthem. Be right back. Corn Belt League baseball on a Monday night coming up next.
No matter what your age, skill level, or position, your baseball season begins at the Strike Zone. Featuring state-of-the-art batting cages, group and private instruction, the Strike Zone provides athletes all the training and equipment you need to get your game to the next level. Give the gift of development to your baseball or softball player. Purchase your Strike Zone gift cards today. Baseball never ends at the Strike Zone.
Welcome back to J.J. Isaacson Field here in Omaha for this presentation of the Corn Belt League here on YouTube. The Bombers and the Cropdusters going head-to-head for the second time in as many weeks. Tyler Reidy and Max Coughlin on the call. Let's start meeting the visiting lineup. The Cropdusters will be heading to the plate first. They're led off by second baseman Jack Tilton. The designated hitter Cade Owens bats second. The shortstop Jovan Suarez bats third. Batting fourth is the first baseman, Anthony Comfort. The center fielder, Caleb Copeland, bats fifth. The left fielder, Trayton Kozel, bats sixth. Batting seventh is the extra hitter, Barrett Ringel. The catcher, Nathan Wickham, 8th. The right fielder, Caleb Horner, 9th. In batting 10th, the third baseman, Logan Davis, and they'll be going up against Zane Layden of the Bombers. Max, what are you looking for from the Bombers starting pitcher here today?
Zane Layden so far in 6 2/3 innings of work this season, has pitched in 2 games, 1 start so far this season, has given up 9 hits so far this season, 6 earned runs, is sitting at a 6.3 ERA. Not the greatest start you would want to as if I was Zane Layden. Not too bad, though. He's trying to get that ERA down in this game. And I think with the hitters so far that the Cropdusters have shown us so far, today could be a pitcher's duel because you have Thatcher Potey on the other side for the Cropdusters. You have Zane Layden on the bump right now for the Bombers. 2 pretty good pitchers and competitive pitchers that do throw strikes, like Zane Layden in 6 2/3 innings of work, only 2 walks so far. So he is a strike thrower, which is exactly what you need in the Corn Belt League because, once again, it is a wood bat league, so you're not going to get a lot of those home runs or long fly balls today. You're going to get a lot of those weak hits, weak ground balls, and that's exactly what you need in the Corn Belt League.
The one thing both of these pitchers are going to be working against today is the carry of the baseball. It is hot, temperatures in the upper 90s as we prepare for first pitch, and the wind is blowing at 10 to 15 miles per hour out to left field. So we'll see. Even with the wood bats, we could get one to carry over the fence. It'll be interesting to see what the offensive numbers look like, not only with this one, but with our second matchup of the day as well. We're ready to go with first pitch. Zane Layden to the second baseman, Jack Tilton. And that's cut on and sliced down the left field line. That is a fair ball. First pitch jam. Single at least going for second base is Tilton. He's in there. A hustle double to get things started. And for the Cropdusters, a team that has had very poor offensive start to the season, that's a great way to get things going.
That is a great start for the Cropdusters. Jack Tilton with a big fly ball into left field to start him out with a great opportunity to score in the very first inning.
So that brings up Cade Owens, the designated hitter. Shows bunt, lays off as Layden fires low and away for ball 1. Bombers lost to the Cropdusters 7-3 last Tuesday as the bunt is down back to the pitcher Layden. He fires to first in time for the out. Moving up to third is Tilton, so a sac bunt. And the first run of the game potentially 90 feet away now for Jovan Suarez.
Now batting, the shortstop from Heston College, number 14, Jovan Suarez.
Going back to that 7-3 game last Tuesday between the Bombers and Cropdusters, it was a 5-0 lead for the Cropdusters after 2. They got off to a great offensive start in that one as well, and things looking very much the same in the early going as this one is taken high and inside by Jovan Suarez.
Tyler, to add on to that 7-3 game last week, that game was a big bullpen day. Thatcher Potey did come out of the bullpen as he's starting for the Cropdusters today. And alongside, on the Bombers side, Brendan Pike with a really bad start for the Bombers, and that led in Adam Egger to try to hold on the Cropdusters to minimize anything. Even though he didn't really do his best at minimizing, he still showed as why he is a contender for pitcher of the week this year. He pitched an amazing start out of relief for the Bombers, and I wouldn't be surprised if we might have maybe see him today if it really comes to that point.
Yeah, Eggert went 4 2/3 innings pitched, gave up just 4 hits, didn't walk anybody, allowed 2 runs, only 1 of them earned, and struck out 5. Did the best he could to keep his team in it. As that one is just up and in, Suarez finds himself in hitter's count. It's 3-1 with Anthony Comfort waiting on deck. Suarez 1 for 8 to start the year. He's driven in 1 run. Went 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch and a strikeout yesterday as he swings through that 3-1 offering, and the count filled up. Layden transitioning from his freshman to sophomore year at Bellevue University on the mound as he gets a grounder to third. This will score the run as Suarez is thrown out, but it's 1-0 Cropdusters on the RBI ground out as Tilton crosses home.
Great start for the Cropdusters as they had that ball. Very first hit of the game, just a little kind of bloop shot into left field. Got the runner to second base and a nice bunt to the pitcher. Got him to third base and a great hit right over there to left side to score in Jack Tilton.
So Suarez picks up his second RBI on the season. And now that brings up Anthony Comfort with 2 outs, nobody on. He takes a first pitch strike. Comfort is the first baseman. Came in as a pinch hitter in yesterday's game and struck out. As he takes the 0-1, and it's an off-speed just inside. Comfort had a solid day against the Bombers last Tuesday, going 1 for 1. Drove in a run on a hit by pitch and came around to score twice. As he takes this one on the lower part of the strike zone to make it 1-2.
So far in this first inning, Zane Layden really mixing in that 2-pitch mix. We just saw that fastball in the outer half. We saw that curveball a few pitches ago. Really doing a well job of mixing both of those pitches in. Trying to stay ahead in the count most of the time, even though he got 3-2 on that ball.
Fly ball to right. It is caught by Danny Spongberg out there in the first inning. The top half in the books. 1-0 Cropdusters as we head to the bottom of the first. Bombers come to the plate coming up next. Welcome back. Bottom of the first inning here at J.J. Isaacson Field. It's Cropdusters 1, Bombers nothing, as we'll meet the home team starting lineup for the Bombers. Danny Spongberg leads off in right field. Batting second, the third baseman, Brennan Cascio. The catcher, Gage Julin, bats third. Nico Saul, the left fielder, fourth. Then the shortstop, Caleb Lemon. The center fielder, Tanner Black. The first baseman, Cole Norden. The second baseman, Rebecca Lair. The DH, Derek Erickson. And the extra hitter, Josh Poston. And they face Thatcher Poteet, who's looking to build off an impressive outing against these Bombers last week.
I was having a conversation with Thatcher Poteet a few days ago, and he was telling me that his slider that he threw last week, he just developed that pitch. Even though that was probably one of his most effective pitches that he threw in his last outing, he said he learned it about 2 or 3 days ago before that outing. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that slider mix in a few times today. He will mix in that very good fastball. He's out of 2-seam and 4-seam. His changeup is also his most effective pitch.
Falls behind a ball and no strikes on Danny Spongberg. And misses low to make it 2-0. Poteet, in a relief appearance against the Bombers last Tuesday, pitched the 4th through the 6th, going 3 innings, only allowing 3 hits and 1 walk. No earned runs, and he struck out 5. As he gets a swing and a miss. 2-1 now on Spongberg. Poteet, a big-time factor in the Cropdusters picking up their only win in the 5 games they've played this season against the Bombers last week. Here's the 2-1. Fires well outside, and Spongberg in a good position leading off. 3 balls, 1 strike.
A big factor today for Poteet is going to be that wind. 11-mile-an-hour wind blowing straight out to left field, and this Bombers team is not afraid to hit. They have Gage Jewell in the 3-hole, already with 1 homer on the year, and many of their players have a lot of extra base hits so far this season so far.
Count now 3-2 on a swinging strike. Spongberg, 200 his batting average. He's been fairly streaky to start the year. Went 3 for 7 in his first couple games, but has gone 0 for 8 since. Trying to get his offense back on track. Here comes the 3-2. He lays off, and it's ball 4, low and away. And for both teams, the leadoff man has reached in the first inning.
Now batting, the third baseman from Bellevue University, number 29, Brennan Casio.
So that brings up the third baseman, Brennan Casio, from Bellevue University. Batting 143 on the season. Has stolen a couple bags, so his speed is a threat. Spongberg has stolen 2 bases as well, and he's got a healthy lead off of first. And Poteet immediately checks on him, and Spongberg is back in time.
Great idea by Poteet, trying to keep the runners as honest as possible early in this game, so trying to minimize the amount of stolen bases in this game because the Bombers runners are not scared to run. Already so far this season, a lot of stolen bases from that entire team because I know Austin McAlexander is not afraid to send them.
Now the first pitch taken outside, and a back pick throw to first is not in time. So they are concerned about Spongberg over there and his aggressiveness, trying to even this game up at 1 with his base running. But 1-0 the count. As Casio steps back in. Here comes the 1-0. That one is inside. Casio bends out of the way, and Poteet has fallen behind a second consecutive hitter. It's 2-0 to the Bombers' third baseman. Now the 2-0 pitch. Not yet. They'll throw back over to first a third time, and Spongberg again is back safely. Casio went 2 for 4 against the Cropdusters last week as he taps this one foul back behind the plate, and the count goes to 2-1.
Poteet so far in this inning not doing the best of staying ahead of the count as he should, and if he keeps on doing this, it's going to bring his pitch count up. And in this heat, when you have a big pitch count in every inning, that's not the best situation that you want because this heat, you get really fatigued if you keep going in these long innings. This heat is just a killer for if you're a pitcher, and the last thing you want is to have a long inning, especially with runners on base.
Throw back to first again, not in time. And the good news for the Cropdusters is that their bullpen is fairly well rested. Yesterday they lost 2-1 to the Royal Blue Dogs, but A.J. Ventry, who has been excellent to start the season, went 5 innings in that one. So bullpen was not used with high volume. As this one is skied foul to the left side. No play for the left fielder, Kozel. And now it's 2-2.
Looked like that might have been a hit-and-run situation because Spongberg took off right as Poteet pitched the ball.
Poteet ready with the 2-2. On the way, and chopped foul again back toward the Bomber dugout. And a nice little battle taking shape here between Thatcher Poteet and Brennan Casio. Spongberg led off the inning with a walk. He leads off first again as the 2-2 pitch. Runner takes off. The pitch is in the dirt, and that will be an easy steal for Danny Spongberg, his third of the year.
Big moment for Poteet on the mound. Runner on second base, no outs. You got to do your best to minimize as much as you can. 2-2 count. You got to do your best to not have that runner on second base score and tie the game up.
Poteet has already had to throw 10 pitches before getting an out as he gets another foul ball to the left side. Casio trying to pull those hands in and shoot one down the third base line. Count still at 3-2. As that is ball 4, low and away. Casio with a great at bat. He sees several pitches from Poteet and finally works the walk. So now 2 on with nobody out, and it'll be the catcher Gage Julin, who is one of the nominees for the Corn Belt League Hitter of the Week. Not the situation you want to be in if you're Thatcher Poteet. First pitch to Julin is taken, and it's low for ball 1. Spongberg is on second, Casio at first. Both of them walked. Spongberg stole second base in the middle of the Casio at bat. 1-0, misses again.
Poteet just not doing a great job of staying in the zone. Very unlike that we saw last week, as he was as consistent as any pitcher we saw so far through the start of the league, and now he's just inconsistent everywhere around the zone.
Here comes the 2-0 to Julin. It is high, and it gets away from the catcher Wickham, and this will move both runners into scoring position. Now second and third with nobody out, as the count now moves to 3-0, and we'll see if Poteet just tries to be careful here with Julin. You've got a base open at first, and Julin's batting .400 with an OPS north of 1,200 in this small sample size to begin the season. He's already hit a home run. That was a grand slam yesterday. As the 3-0 is in there at the bottom of the zone. Julin might have been taking all the way, so now 3-1. Cropdusters took the lead in the top of the first as Jack Tilton led off the game with a double down the left field line, and then eventually Jovan Suarez grounded out to third, driving him in. Bombers in good position to get it back, though. Here's the 3-1. It's lifted high in the air, left center field. Kozel and Copeland converging. Kozel makes the catch. Spongberg tags, and he scores to tie the game. So Julin, just another RBI for the man who's been raking all week. He drives Spongberg in on the sac fly, and we're even at 1.
Big-time hit right there for Gage Julin. Nominee for a hitter of the week, and that is another point in case right there of why I believe Gage Julin should deserve that award for the week. Great sac fly to bring in Danny Spongberg.
So now the cleanup man, left fielder Nico Saul. He takes one outside. Or rather, no, it caught the outside corner for strike 1. Good location from Thatcher Poteet. As he looks the runner back to second, Casio is out there. He's got 2 stolen bases on the year. Saul batting .400. He's 4 for 10 to start the summer. And has hit safely in each of his first 3 games, as they'll throw back to second now, and the ball dropped. Casio back in safely.
Fun fact about pitcher Thatcher Poteet, mainly a catcher at West Virginia Westland College back in at his hometown, West Virginia. So if I was Cropdusters head coach Jared Jones, you got to be thinking of how long could really Poteet go in this outing. He's already up to near 20 pitches in this first inning. Not really a lot of experience on the mound for in the springtime, so you got to think of when does he start getting tired, when does his fatigue start kicking in, and it really looked like it already started to kick in. Walked the first second batter, and now gave up already 1 run in the first inning. So you got to start thinking of when you should start going to that bullpen.
Big cut and a miss by Saul on the 1-1. So now 1-2 the count. Do have to give Poteet some credit. When he has found the strike zone, he's kept the ball down and has stayed away from hard contact here in this first inning. It's just a matter of finding that strike zone. As this 1-2 is just low to make it 2-2. You can tell he wanted that one. Saul will live to see another pitch as it's 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Two is way outside. Non-competitive pitch, and now the count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Nico Saul, the left fielder. Caleb Lemon, the shortstop, is waiting on deck. Here's the payoff to Saul. It is low. A 3rd walk in the inning for Thatcher Poteet. And once again, 2 on for the Bombers, and Caleb Lemon coming to the dish.
Only a 45% strike percentage for Thatcher Poteet. That was his 23rd pitch of the inning so far. Only 10 strikes so far in his outing. Not the best start if I was Thatcher Poteet, and especially with base runners on first and second, only 1 out. Not the situation you want if you're the Cropdusters.
So they'll have a mound meeting out there. As the catcher, Nathan Wickham, will go out there as well. Caleb Lemon is not somebody you want to mess around with at the plate. He's off to a strong start to the season. .364 his batting average. OPS over 900 at .916.
Now batting, the shortstop from Concordia University.
He had a big day against the Cropdusters last Tuesday. He was the Bombers' most productive hitter in that game, going 3 for 4 with a double, an RBI, and a run scored. Let's see if Poteet can find himself here with 2 on, 1 out. Trying to bunt his Lemon, and might have ticked it off himself for a foul ball, strike 1. Now the 0-1 from Poteet. Cascio double steal as the throw goes to third, and Cascio stayed on the bag. So the double steal is executed by the Bombers, and now 2 in scoring position. The double plays out of order.
Great jump by Cascio at second base. You could see he was jumping around a little bit, and he's maybe thinking about going, and Poteet just had no attention on him, and Cascio saw the opening. He took a great jump and great steal.
1-1 lifted out to center field. This drives Copeland back. He makes the catch. Both runners tag, and Cascio comes in to score. So the deficit turned into a lead by the Bombers. It's now 2-1 in the bottom of the first. 2 sac flies in the inning. 1 by Julin, the second by Lemon.
Now batting,
in the middle of the order, getting the job done, as the 6-hitter Tanner Black will step in. Pitch count now at 27 for Poteet, as number 28 goes outside for ball 1. Tanner Black, the center fielder from Doane University, is hit by the pitch. So the mistakes continue to pile up for Poteet. As once again, he brings himself into a multiple runner situation. They're on the corners with 2 outs, and now Cole Nordine, the first baseman, will dig in. Nordine has hit safely in each of his first 3 games. He's 3 for 9 to start the year, as he takes one outside, ball 1. Nordine walked twice yesterday, which is important to consider when Poteet out there has already walked 3 in the inning. You know, Nordine is willing to be patient, but he takes a strike on the outside corner to make it 1-1. There's the 1-1. Runner takes off. The throw is high and into center field. That will allow a 3rd run to score as Saul comes in. Black will get the stolen base. And talked about coming into the game. Most of the issues for the Cropdusters this season have been with their lack of offense, but right now it's just unforced errors on the mound and defensively.
If I was Poteet, that is the last thing you want to see as from your catcher, Nathan Wickham. Seems like that one might have caught like a jet stream in this high-powered wind so far in this game.
That one slapped foul. Now the count at 2-2, so Poteet finally a strike away from getting out of this thing. He's allowed 3 runs so far in this one. And that was after he was given a lead. Now the 2-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. The first inning is over, but an offensive first inning it was. 3-1 the score. The Bombers lead as we head to the second at J.J. Isaacson Field. Top of the second inning, Cropdusters and Bombers with a high-powered offensive start to this one. 3-1 the score as the Bombers have the lead. Zane Layden back to work with some run support as he faces Caleb Copeland, the center fielder, batting 5th. As this is chopped to second base. And the play is made by Rebecca Lair out there for the first out. That brings straight and Coastal left fielder to the plate. And Max, what'd you see from these two pitchers in the first inning? We thought it was a struggle for Zane Layden as he gave up that 1 run, but then on the other side, Poteet just couldn't find his command very much at all and gave up 3.
Big thing for Poteet right now is that inconsistency in the zone. Not so much on the hit side. Yes, Layden has 1 hit so far against him. You look at the scoreboard, Poteet has 0. It's all about the walk so far. Poteet only having 3 walks so far, a hit by pitch. That's the biggest problem in the case. And I'm looking in the Cropdusters bullpen right now. No life in the bullpen. Poteet reaching about 31 pitches only in the first inning. Not the greatest start you want to see, but if you're on the other side, Bombers, Layden, you got kind of like a sigh of relief for that when your team scored 3 runs after giving up 1. So now he can pitch with those insurance runs, kind of mix around in the places, kind of throw a little more, as we just saw that curveball in the outer half. If I was Zane Layden right now, I'd be pitching with the lead. So what, you give up a hit. You just got to keep the lead and not really. You got to minimize as much as you can.
Fly ball to center field by Trayton Kozel, and the catch is made by Tanner Black. So 2 up, 2 down to begin the second inning. Encouraging frame so far here for Zane Layden.
Perfect start for Zane Layden in the second inning. Staying consistent, not getting too behind in the count. That was a 2-1 count when he hit that ball, but not really getting too behind in the count, which is exactly what you need to do early in the game.
Here's the extra hitter, Barrett Ringel. He saw his first 2 plate appearances of the summer yesterday, going 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout as he bends out of the way. Up and in for ball 1. Now the 1-0 from Layden is cut on and missed. He blew it right by him, and it's 1-1. Now the 1-1 pitch is on the outside. Good location. Zane Layden seems to be hitting the spots well, and he's a strike away from a 1-2-3 inning. Now the 1-2 to Ringel. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. An impressive showing from Layden in the second. And the Bombers take a 3-1 lead to the bottom half. We'll be right back here at the Corn Belt League. Bottom of the second inning, Bombers 3, Cropdusters 1 at J.J. Isaacson Field. Thatcher Poteet, after a 35-pitch, 3-run bottom of the first inning, will go back to work facing the 8, 9, and 10 hitters, beginning with the second baseman, Rebecca Lair. And she takes it low for ball 1. Look at some of the scores and matchups from around the league. Yesterday, the Royal Blue Dogs took down the Cropdusters 2-1, and the Rail Riders beat the Bombers 12-9, as there's ball 2. Black Sox beat the Haymakers, who we'll see in the 8 o'clock game. 5-2, the Black Sox won. And tonight, a 9-inning game being played instead of a doubleheader, as the count goes to 2-1. 9-inning game being played in Iowa, Red Raiders and Filth Ballers, and then the Rail Riders and Black Sox after that one. As this is lined back up the middle. Play made by the shortstop, and the throw in time from Javon Suarez, 1 down. And a good start to the inning for Poteet. Our second matchup at 8 o'clock will be between the Royal Blue Dogs and the Haymakers. Hopefully it'll cool down quite a bit by then. Temperature still sitting in the high 90s, as the sun still has quite a while before it goes down. Strike one to the DH, Derek Erickson. And a ball up and in to even it at 1-1. Erickson 0 for 5 on the season, but he has driven in 2 runs, as he went 0 for 2 with a walk, a strikeout, an RBI, and a run scored as he grounds this one right back to Poteet, and he'll walk this one almost all the way to first before flipping to Comfort, and a quick 2 outs. A good sign for Thatcher Poteet. Max, you were worried about him maybe not even being able to get through this inning, but he's showing much improvement from that first here.
Great first start to the second inning for Thatcher. Alongside that first inning, 35-pitch inning, he's bumped that strike percentage up a little bit to 45% as he just got those 2 ground outs, one at second base and one to him. Now it looks like he's got another one to him.
He'll field his position on the slow runner Josh Poston, and 3 up, 3 down. A great second inning for Poteet. Layden went 1-2-3 as well. The pitcher's trying to settle in as we'll go to the third. Still 3-1 Bombers. Zane Layden back to work for the Bombers. He's needed just 21 pitches to get through 2 innings, and he was completely unfazed by the 1 run scored against him in the top of the first. He came right back out and threw a 1-2-3 second, as did Thatcher Poteet. We'll see if these pitchers can settle in on a hot summer day, as Layden will now face the bottom of the Cropdusters order. Wickham, Horner, and Davis coming up.
Tyler, I'm going to ask you this question. Do you want to know what the feels like temperature is right now?
I'm not sure I do. I mean, we're lucky to be up here in the booth. I can't imagine what it's like out there. It's got to be well over 100, right?
Feels like temperature is currently sitting at 107.
Ooh, toasty. Toasty June day in Omaha. And it'll carry through the rest of this week. Upper 90s, even low 100s, as this is inside to make the count. 2 balls, no strikes, and the College World Series comes to town on Friday, and the heat will stick around. As the 2-0 is lined past the pitcher back into center field. Solid contact from Wickham. And let's see if the quick 8-pitch inning from Thatcher Poteet in the bottom of the second generates some momentum for the Cropduster offense. They've got the leadoff man on again.
Number 32, Caleb Horton. Correction, Caleb Horner.
So here comes Caleb Horner, the right fielder, as the catcher Wickham stands at first. First pitch from Layden, low and away, ball 1.
Looks like he went first pitch slider on that. Kind of, you just, if you're gonna go with the first pitch off speed, you got to make sure you get it in for a strike. Even if it is right down the middle, you just got to put that one in there to get ahead of the count.
Throwback over to first as late as we do have a pinch runner, Thatcher Coughlin from South Dakota State, is running for the catcher. 0 for 1 on steal attempts this year, as Count now goes to 2-0 on Caleb Horner, the right fielder. Had a rough day yesterday, going 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. As the 2-0 finds the zone. Layden working back into the count. It's 2-1. As this is grounded to short, could be 2. To flip to second is in time, but there will be no throw to first as the ball is dropped. So they get the force at second. Thatcher Kozel will head back to the dugout, but Horner reaches on the fielder's choice.
Great pitch by Layden, only to get 1 out. Better than nothing, though. And you got the lead runner at second base.
University, number 19, Logan Davis.
So now Logan Davis, the 10-hole hitter, third baseman. Caleb Horner has not attempted to steal at first base this year. As this one's taken, strike 1. Layden has done well keeping the ball down. As he gets set for the 0-1. And can't find the strike zone. It's even at 1-1 to Logan Davis. He, too, is looking for his first hit of the year as he's on an 0 for 5 to begin the summer. And the throw down to first is late. Horner back in safely. We've seen both of these teams very active in the running game so far, especially the Bombers. They stole 4 bases, including a double steal in their first inning, as this is a strike to make it 1-2. And in addition to the heat and the humidity and the wind, that's just another factor these pitchers will have to worry about throughout the day. Here comes the 1-2 to Davis. It's up and away. The count runs to 2 balls, 2 strikes. Next, I would say the Cropdusters, at the very least, just trying to break into that pitch count. Layden was at only 21 through 2 innings, so even if you don't get a run across, you'd love to bump it up a little bit and get a little closer to that bullpen.
Layden currently now sitting at 31 pitches in total in 2 1/3 innings of work. His strike percentage is still up there at 58%. Poteet's, on the other hand, is at 46%. So Layden's still working pretty good with a runner on first base and 2 outs. So I wouldn't say that he's working too quite behind, even though it is a 3-2 count. He's got about here to get the last out.
Davis fouls it back to stay alive. Layden has avoided any walks thus far. Has allowed a pair of hits as this is fouled back again. Logan Davis from the 10 spot in the lineup doing a nice job battling and staying in there. One on, one out. Horner the runner at first. The 3-2 pitch is in there. Looked like he went off speed, and Davis was completely fooled for the second out as he strikes out looking.
Big time pitch in any count for a strike. Just a great pitch to get that second out for Zane Layden.
Layden struck out 7 through 4 innings in his last outing against the Red Raiders on Thursday, as this is knocked foul by Jack Tilton. He's got 2 strikeouts through 2 2/3 here today. Tilton got the offense cooking right away for the Cropdusters in the first. He led off the game with a slicing double down the left field line and came around to score. As he takes this one just up and away off the plate. Count at 1-1. Tilton is the only player on the team with an extra base hit this year, and he's got 2 of them as he collected his second double back in the first. He also leads the team in runs batted in with 3. He swings through that to make it 1-2. Layden looking for another scoreless inning. The 1-2 pitch is outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The designated hitter, Cade Owens, is on deck. He laid down a sac bunt his first time up. But the focus on Tilton. Here comes the 2-2. It is outside again as he went with the off speed, but couldn't find his spot. And for a second consecutive hitter, the count runs full. The 3-2 is lifted into center field. That'll drive Black toward right center, and he makes the catch. Top of the third is over. Bombers still leading 3-1 as Zane Layden appears to be on his game today. We'll be right back for the bottom of the third. Back, bottom of the third inning. Bombers coming to bat. And Max, you've got a little award to tell us about that we're going to be doing weekly here for the Corn Belt League. Pitcher and hitter of the week. How about it?
Yes, we have a very brand new pitcher and hitter of the week. And we just came out this morning. For the pitcher of the week, we have Evan Heeb of the Royal Blue Dogs, and we have Adam Egger of very own Omaha Bombers here playing today. And you still have 18 hours and 29 minutes left to vote. I suggest that if you have not yet to go vote, I suggest you go over to Corn Belt League's Twitter and go make your vote. We also have the hitter of the week. We have Spencer Crane, Gage Julin out of the Omaha Bombers, who we saw had a sac fly earlier in today's game, Nolan Christensen out of the Filth Ballers, and PJ Locks. Nolan Christensen currently leading the hitter of the week, and currently Adam Egger of the Omaha Bombers currently leading the pitcher of the week. So kind of a little fun thing that everyone's doing for the Corn Belt League every week. And we also will have the Corn Belt League hitter and pitcher of the week on our Around the Corn podcast every Wednesday at 5 o'clock. So that should be a fun time to have them both on the podcast every week.
1-2 the count on Spongberg as he swings and misses for a strikeout. But yeah, Max, the races are very close from what I'm hearing in both pitcher and hitter. Still 18 hours left, so get out there, make your voices heard. As we'll see the third baseman, Brennan Cassio, dig in after the strikeout. That was Poteet's second K of the ball game. Low and away, ball one to Brennan Cassio, the third baseman. That one misses well outside. 2 balls, no strikes. That seems like the biggest issue location-wise that Poteet has had, whether it's a righty or a lefty. He's been consistently outside, even in the other batter's box at times, as that one's a strike.
Biggest thing for Poteet right here is to have that somewhat sort of pitch he had, or inning he had last inning, to try to get the Cropdusters in as fast as they can and get the bats going and hopefully get 2 more on the board or even more to bring him in the lead.
Foul ball makes it 2-2 to Brennan Cassio. He walked, stole third, came around to score the second run in the first, and he's plunked. You see him crowding the plate. And on a 2-strike pitch, the off-speed gets away from Poteet, and Cassio's on again.
That is the last thing you want to do if you are Thatcher Poteet. 2 strikes on the board, hit the batter right in the side. You just can't do that because with 1 out, you put a runner on first base. Just not the most ideal situation. Still nobody in the bullpen, no life in the bullpen for the Cropdusters, with Thatcher sitting at around 48 pitches. So we'll see how much longer he goes in this game. My thoughts are not much longer, maybe 1 or 2 more innings in this game. But so far, not really looking fatigued.
And now they got the runner picked off. They'll tag out Casio. So interesting decision with your big slugger, Gage Julian, at the plate. Casio gets aggressive on the base paths, and now the base is empty with 2 down. Now Julian will have to reset. Poteet feeling thankful, as not only does that get him an out, but keeps his pitch count down even further, as he's already struggled, was at 43 through 2 innings. As he delivers to Julian. Chopper, foul down the third base line. Julian drove in his team-leading 6th run of the summer on a sac fly to left in the first. Trying to extend his 3-game hit streak. As he swings through that one. Looked like a good slider low and away to make it 0-2. And Poteet in the driver's seat.
Tyler, I'm looking at Poteet, and I'm looking at Julian's pants. We got a battle of the tweeners going right now. Kind of an interesting matchup here.
Yeah, how about that? And it'll be Julian staying alive to make it 0-2. Poteet looking to find that put-away pitch. 0-2. Well outside. Bounces all the way toward the Cropduster dugout. It's 1-2.
One positive for Poteet so far in his 3rd inning of work. He's got that strike percentage back up to 50%, as it was down to nearly 43% earlier in the game. So he's done a great job of being a little more consistent in the zone, as there's a big strikeout.
2nd strikeout of the inning ends the bottom of the 3rd. Poteet has settled in well. But it's going to be about the offense now for the Cropdusters. They trail 3-1 going to the 4th. Bombers looking to stay in control when we come back. Top of the 4th inning, Cropdusters and Bombers here at J.J. Isaacson Field. Zane Layden back on the bump for his 4th inning of work. He's given up just 1 run through 3, as he'll face the heart of the order coming up, starting with the 2-hitter, designated hitter Cade Owens. He was a key part of that run-scoring 1st inning, as he put down a sacrifice bunt to move Jack Tilton over to 3rd with 1 out before Javon Suarez drove him in. Here's the first pitch to Owens. Skied into right center. That's playable for Black. He makes the catch for the first out. It looks like it could be another short pitch count inning for Layden. That's been a point of mastery for him so far in this one. He was just at 21 pitches through 2 innings. Had a rough patch in the third, throwing 21 in that one alone. But 1 pitch, 1 out to start the fourth.
Great and efficient start for Zane Layden. 1 pitch, 1 out. What more could you ask for? Now he's got to get 2 more. Try to keep that pitch count limited.
Fires a first pitch ball to Jovan Suarez, the shortstop. He drove in the only Cropduster run of the game with a ground out to third in the first. As he pops this one back our way and into the bleachers. Watch out down there. 1-1 the count. Layden has struck out 2 so far. 1 swinging, 1 looking. There's the 1-1. Popped up. This is in play. It'll be the first baseman, Nordine, making the catch. 2 quick outs for Layden. And it'll be up to the cleanup hitter, Anthony Comfort, to keep this thing going in the top of the fourth.
If you're Zane Layden, that is the exact thing that you want to happen. 2 quick outs, only 1 more left to get your team back in the dugout. Try to attack and put on more insurance runs.
Anthony Comfort slaps this one foul to the right side. And into the bullpen area for strike 1. Comfort flew out to right to conclude the first inning. As the 0-1 is pulled down the left field line, and it's over the head of the left fielder, Saul. Turning first and going to second, Comfort, and he's in there with the Cropdusters' second double of the game. So in this game alone, they've already exceeded their extra base hit total for the season. Had 1 coming in, they've got 2 today.
Big time hit for Anthony Comfort. 2 out, big time hit down the left field line. Gives a great shot for the Cropdusters to come back and maybe put on a run on the board.
The center fielder Caleb Copeland steps in. He began the top of the second inning with a ground out to second. As he lifts this one right back over the press box and out of play. You can hear it banging around behind us for strike 1.
To the first or third base dugout.
0-1 pitch. Finds the outside. Good location for strike 2. And Copeland with his back against the wall. Trying to come through with the runner in scoring position, down 0-2. Layden's pitch is outside. A ball and 2 strikes now. Wind picking up a little bit here. Still blowing from right field out to left. As the 1-2 from Layden hits him. Looked like an off-speed pitch, and Copeland not afraid to just stand in there and take it. And now 2 on with 2 out as Layden loses a man with 2 strikes.
Now batting, the left fielder from Southeast Community College, number 35, Trayton Kozel.
So here comes the left fielder, Trayton Kozel. And Max, for the Cropdusters, had such a rough offensive start to the season. These are the moments where you have to capitalize. These could be, maybe not season-changing moments, but maybe week or month-defining moments here if you can put a couple on the board. This is knocked foul for strike 1.
This is the exact inning where the Cropdusters need to come together and just rally on those team ABs. You're not looking for those big-time hits. You're looking for exactly what just happened with Caleb Copeland. You're looking to get hit by a pitch. You're not looking to step out of the box when a ball is thrown at you. The Cropdusters need anything they can to get runners on base, and it really started with Anthony Comfort with a big-time hit with 1 out. And so there's a...
That gets away, and on the wild pitch, both runners advance. So now your only play on a force out is at first. Comfort to third. Copeland to second. And Coughlin working with a 1-1 count.
And if I was Coughlin here, I'm just looking to put a ball in play anywhere in the gaps. Yes, there's 2 outs, so you can't really get anything to get in.
High fly, center field. Black takes a few steps in and puts it away. Layden works out of trouble in the 4th. And his Bombers carry a 3-1 lead as we're just about halfway through this one. Bombers 3, Cropdusters 1 to the bottom of the 4th. Bottom of the 4th inning at J.J. Isaacson Field. The Bombers back to the plate, carrying a 3-1 advantage over the Cropdusters as it's the left fielder cleanup hitter Nico Saul digging in. He walked, stole a base, and scored the 3rd run back in that 1st inning. Thatcher Poteet continuing to work. He settled down very well ever since that bumpy 35-pitch 1st inning. Max, what have you seen from him to get back on the rails here? As this is grounded to second for the 1st out.
So far from Thatcher, exactly on that play, a lot of soft ground balls. We saw that in the last inning too. He had that quick inning. Last 2 innings honestly have been pretty quick for Thatcher Poteet. Really settled down after that 1st inning. Still at 58 pitches now, but he's sitting at a comfortable 50% strike percentage, which is exactly what you need if you're Jared Jones. Is exactly what you want out of a pitcher that really hasn't pitched a lot, especially in the springtime at his college. Mainly a catcher. You can't really ask for anything better. Only 2 earned runs out of the 3 so far, and really sitting comfortably with a lot of soft ground balls and 3 strikeouts so far in this outing.
First pitch strike to the shortstop, Caleb Lemon, and he's avoided the mistakes as well as this is low and away ball 1. He walked 4 and hit a batsman in the 1st inning, and in the 2 1/3 innings pitched since, 0 walks and just 1 hit batsman that was quickly erased by a strikeout. As that's cut on and miss. Count now 1-2. Poteet looking to set down Lemon. And he'll get him to ground out to short. Suarez ranges in and didn't get him in time. Lemon hustling down the line, beats it out on an infield single. And we'll see if this can generate anything for the Bombers offense, which has gone quiet since that 1st.
Tyler, I was just about to mention that Poteet currently had a no-hitter going into his 3 1/3 inning of work. And I'm glad I didn't really say it because I would have been jinxed on that infield single.
Well, I wasn't even thinking of that. You don't usually see a team score 3 runs on no hits, but yeah, that's exactly what happened. The pitch count, don't know if Poteet would have been able to go long enough to complete a no-no, but it's gone as it is. Ball 1 to the center fielder, Tanner Black.
Currently some life in the Cropdusters bullpen. I can't really figure out who it is yet. I will get back to you once I do, but like I said, last inning that Poteet was pitching, I don't really see that much longer I see him in the game. He's currently sitting at 62 pitches, So wouldn't be surprised in the next inning or two if we saw Poteet get pulled. Same thing on the other side for Layden. Layden sitting at 55 pitches. Honestly, wouldn't be surprised if we saw the same thing get pulled in the next inning or two, even though he is working really consistent with only 2 hits, no earned runs so far in this game.
2 balls, 1 strike to Tanner Black, who fouls us off 2-2. See if Lemon decides to run. You just saw him flash his speed on the infield single. He's 2 for 4 on stolen bases to begin the summer, so he has been aggressive. Black was hit by a pitch in the first. Now the 2-2 pitch. Runner does go, and they'll still get the force out at second, and they'll turn the double play. 6-4-3, Suarez to Tilton to Comfort, and Poteet is through another inning scoreless. We head to the 5th, still 3-1 Bombers.
After 4 innings of play, the Bombers 3.
No matter what your age, skill level, or position, your baseball season begins at the Strike Zone. Featuring state-of-the-art batting cages, group and private instruction, the Strike Zone provides athletes all the training and equipment you need to get your game to the next level. Give the gift of development to your baseball or softball player. Purchase your Strike Zone gift cards today. Baseball never ends at the Strike Zone.
Top of the 5th inning after a long first between the Cropdusters and Bombers. This one is rolling right along through the summer heat in Omaha. Zane Layden, speaking of rolling along, he's having a great outing through 4 innings of 1-run baseball, has allowed just 3 hits as he goes back to work in the 5th, facing Barrett Ringel, the extra hitter, and he chops this one over to third. Cascio ranges in and throws in time for the out. Check that. I believe we have a new third baseman over there, actually. That's Kyle Weber, who has made a defensive replacement. So Cascio out, Weber in. He records the out, and now it'll be Nathan Wickham, the catcher, stepping in.
Tyler, besides that second inning for Layden, so far we've seen no signs of fatigue on the mound from Zane Layden. He's working with 4 innings pitched, 56 pitches. He has a 60% strike percentage, which is perfect, exactly what he needs in 4 innings of work. Only 1 earned runs, sitting at 2 strikeouts, but the big key thing right here, 0 walks, which is exactly what you need. Exactly what you need if you're Austin Alexander. That's all you can ask for out of your starter is no walks through 4 innings of work.
0-1 pitch is on the outside. He's ahead 0-2 on Wickham. He collected one of the 3 hits off Layden back in the 3rd, singling to center to lead off the inning. As the 0-2 is swung on and missed. He went down in the dirt and got him to chase. 2 quick outs in the 5th inning for Layden as he picks up strikeout number 3.
Now batting, the right fielder, number 32, Caleb Horner.
So that brings Caleb Horner to the dish. Right fielder grounded into a fielder's choice and reached in the 3rd. Layden gets him on the ground to third. Weber makes another play and throws him out in time. Talk about a quick inning. Zane Layden's got it going here today against the Cropdusters. It's 3-1 Bombers to the bottom of the fifth on an excellent pitching performance. Bottom of the fifth inning here at J.J. Isaacson Field. Bombers 3, Cropdusters 1, as Zane Layden has been the story so far, going 5 innings for the Bombers, needing just 60 pitches. He's only allowed 2 hits. He has walked none. He struck out 3, and Thatcher Poteet, after a 35-pitch first inning, has done everything he can to keep his team in it. He's thrown 3 consecutive scoreless frames, as he's gone 68 pitches in 4 innings, working into the fifth, and he'll face the 7, 8, 9 hitters, starting with Cole Nordine, the first baseman, who struck out to end the first. And he slices this one and takes a funky bounce right where the grass meets the infield dirt and gets past third into left, so a base hit for Nordine on the first pitch of the fifth, and that's a tough play for a third baseman. A lot of these guys used to playing on turf fields, but we've got the natural grass here, and when the ball hits that lip at the edge of the infield grass, it can just die, and it looked like it did it there.
That lip could always be a killer. Tyler, I know that you go to Prep and Westside, my very own school, both have turf, and you don't ever have those problems with that. And so a lot of these college kids, they play on that turf field, and the entire spring they don't have to worry about any bad hops, or you always get those natural hops. And when you come on to Seymour Smith, J.J. Isaacson Field, you get some of those bad hops, and you don't really know how to react to them, and that really could be what the problem is for some of these infielders.
We've got action over in the bullpen for the Bombers. So it looks like Zane Layden, despite keeping a very good pitch count, very low pitch count through this one, he could be done. As the 0-1 pitch coming to Rebecca Lair. Looking to bunt, gets it down. It's back to the pitcher, Poteet. He will wing it over to first in time. That does move up the runner. So now a man at second with 1 down, and Derek Erickson will come to the plate.
Rebecca Lair doing a great job getting that bunt down. That's really all you can ask for to get Cord Norland over there to second base with only 1 out. Puts up Derek Erickson in a great spot to get another one on the board for the Bombers.
Erickson grounded out to Poteet in the second inning as he tried to wait on that hanging off speed pitch, but slapped it foul for strike 1. This is the bottom of the Bombers order. Erickson, the 9-hitter. Josh Poston, the 10-hitter, waits on deck. As the 0-1 pitch. Again, an off-speed pitch that looked to be up, and he came closer to putting it fair this time, but again, foul down the third base line, and it's quickly 0-2.
Tyler, looks like it's number 38, Levi Story in the bullpen for the Bombers currently. May come in the 6th inning.
And he was the designated reliever on the lineup card handed to us before the game, so no surprise. Story set to follow up Layden after his fantastic outing. 0-2 pitch from Poteet in the dirt, goes through the catcher's legs, and I don't know if Nordine didn't read it, but he stayed put at second. Would have been a close play at third. It's 1-2. Poteet grinding through that hot summer sun. It's 72 pitches now. Here's number 73. It is grounded toward third. Nice play made by Davis, and he throws wide to first, and it gets into foul territory. This will put Nordine at third, and going to second base on the error is Erickson. A big mistake by the Cropdusters. Their issues today have mostly been defensively, and the Bombers are set up well to tack onto their lead here with 2 in scoring position and 1 out.
Just not what you want to see if you're on the Cropdusters. With 1 out, that would have put maybe if you could have rolled that double play, would have got them out of the inning. Just not what you want to see, because now you have both runners in scoring positions with only 1 out.
The infield comes in for Josh Poston, who grounded out to the pitcher Poteet to conclude the second inning. He takes a first pitch strike. And now chops this one through into left field, a base hit. Nordine comes in to score. And Erickson stops at third. An RBI single for Poston as he shot it right through that drawn-in infield. And it's 4-1 Bombers.
Big time hit there for Josh Poston with runners in scoring position to give Zane Layden a little more insurance in there, maybe even Levi Story in the next coming innings, but exactly what you need if you're on the Bombers to give more insurance to the pitchers and the defense.
So Poston picks up his first RBI of the season and his first hit of the year. As it moves back to the top of the order, strike 1 to Danny Spongberg. He's 0 for 1, walked, stole a base, and scored in the first, and then struck out swinging in the third. 0-1 pitch from Poteet. He is low and away on what looked to be a slider. Spongberg read it well, count 1-1. Erickson at third, Poston at first. And now both pitcher and batter will step out for a moment. This is a big moment in the game here. Cropdusters need to get out of this with minimal damage if they would like a chance to stay in this game and pull off their second win of the season, but you know the Bombers are hunting for insurance. Poteet is hunting for Poston at first base, but can't pick him off.
Poteet keeping a lot of attention over there at first base. Poston keep taking a lot of looks over. We just saw that pickoff move.
That one is low, 2 balls and 1 strike. And we saw something similar the first time these two teams met when the Cropdusters won at 7-3 over the Bombers. They led 5-3 in the middle innings of the game and picked up some insurance runs to make it 7-3, as that's a strike to make it 2-2. But insurance runs late in the game with the Bombers unable to get anything back themselves. That was the difference. Bombers looking to do the same thing and add some insurance here. Here comes the 2-2. Chopped foul. Poteet definitely looking to keep the ball down. The double play is a possibility, although Spongberg runs very well. And that pitch blocked very well by the catcher Wickham to prevent the run from scoring. It's 3-2 now.
Big time pitch here for Poteet, 3-2 count. You got to get this big strikeout to get 2 on the board. You don't want to put the bases loaded, especially when you're down 4-1. 3-2, and he struck him out.
Big time K for Poteet. That's his 4th of the game. And now an opportunity to escape the inning, but he might not get the chance to. It looks like could be a pitching change, and it will be. So Poteet's day is done. He goes 4 2/3 innings, allows 4 runs. But all things considered, Max, after that 3-run, 35-pitch first, I would call it a solid outing for Thatcher Poteet.
Not a bad outing at all for Thatcher Poteet. He had that first inning, kind of got a little shaken up, and he just had this inning right here where he's gotten kind of a little shaken up, gotten behind in the count a little bit. But nonetheless, Thatcher Poteet, for his very first start of the entire 2022 season, including his college season, not a bad outing at all. He worked through the entire game with a 57% strike percentage, and that's really all you can ask for, is above 50% for a starter. That'll keep you in the game, and so far, I would still say that they are still in the game, being only down by 3 runs, still in this game, and they got to look now to, let's see who this is.
We'll take a quick break here as we've got a call to the bullpen. Be right back. Tell you about the reliever coming up next. Cade Owens is the reliever coming into the game after Thatcher Poteet goes 4 2/3 innings for the Cropdusters. And he'll face Brennan Cascio, who slaps that one foul for strike 1. You look at Cade Owens. He's made 1 appearance on the mound. That was on opening night against the Haymakers last Monday. He was very good, going 2 innings pitched, not allowing a hit, not allowing a run, striking out 3 and walking none. And this is the guy you want to limit the damage, as he gets a swinging strike to make it 0-2 against Cascio.
Cade Owens out of Southeast Community College. Seems like a common trend here in the Corn Belt League. It seems like we got a lot of in-town Midwest guys playing in the Corn Belt League, which I think is pretty cool. I know Jaden Taylor mentioned it last week. A lot of Midwest guys playing in the Corn Belt this year, and nonetheless, we have a lot of Southeast Community College players. We have 9, matter of fact, to be 4 in fact.
Now the 1-2. Cascio swings and nicks that one foul. We got another pitcher getting loose in the Cropdusters bullpen. That is number 17, Blake Peabody from William Penn. Here comes the 1-2. And Cascio does well to lay off. However, the runner goes to second, and there will be no throw. So Poston reads it well in the dirt and takes the base. Now 2 in scoring position with 2 outs. Here comes the 2-2. It is up, and the count runs full. Gage Julin, the catcher, is waiting on deck, and you don't want to load the bases for him. He had a grand slam just yesterday. Now the 3-2. Lifted foul off to the right side as it goes over not only the field fence, but the whole property fence. It's picked up by a fan. Still 3-2. Cade Owens looking to end the inning. And he gets another foul pop up right over the press box and out of play. Owens looks in for the sign, ready with another 3-2. Swing and a miss. However, it goes all the way to the backstop, and Casio will reach, allowing a run to score. A huge break for the Bombers to make it 5-1, as the catcher Wickham could not hang on to strike 3.
A very impressive slider by Cade Owens. Just got a little past Wickham and was able to go as far back to the backstop to have Julian go all the way to first base. Just an unfortunate event that occurred for the Cropdusters to get the Bombers another run on the board to now put the deficit for the Cropdusters at 4.
So here comes Julian, the catcher. 0 for 1 with a sac fly in the first, a strikeout in the third. And he takes up and away ball 1. Julian, again, one of our nominees for Corn Belt League Hitter of the Week after he drove in 5, including a grand slam in yesterday's 12-9 loss. 1-0. That one low and away again. 2 balls, no strikes. Owens trying to get those chases on slider down and away. He did against Casio, but reached on the wild pitch. Now the 2-0. Swing and a miss. He went fastball up and in, and a big cut from Julian to make it 2-1.
Big time moment here for Gage Julian with runners with Poston on third base, Casio on first base, 2 outs, trying to get a little more insurance there for Layden or Story.
Just off the plate. 3 balls, 1 strike. Royal Blue Dogs and Haymakers will be our 8 o'clock matchup. You can keep it right here and see that one coming up next on Corn Belt League YouTube channel, as this is swung on and missed to make it 3-2. Julian trying to find one of those gaps in left center or right center and let the ball carry, but Owens blowing it right past him. Now a 3-2 with Nico Saul on deck. High fly ball, left center field. This drives Copeland back, but he has room, and he makes the catch. So the inning is over, but the Bombers tack on 2 more. It's 5-1 as we go to the 6th inning. Cropdusters will try to mount a comeback when we return. Cropdusters and Bombers headed to the 6th inning here at J.J. Isaacson Field as we take a look at the inning-by-inning score. And it was an active first. The Cropdusters took a 1-0 lead on an RBI ground-up by Javon Suarez, but quick to answer were the Bombers with 3 as they worked 4 walks against Thatcher Poteet in the bottom of the first. And then pitchers really settled in 2nd through 4th innings. But the 5th, 2 more big insurance runs for Zane Layden of the Bombers, who's back out there. Starting pitcher's gone 5 innings already, and he's gunning for 6. Max, what have you seen from this guy so far? He's been tremendous.
Besides the very first inning for Zane Layden, he has been cruising through this game so far. Not a lot of big strikeouts, just a lot of soft contact, and that is exactly what you need for as a pitcher when it's a wood bat league. All you're asking for is soft contact, and then that's exactly what he's been doing all game long. So I don't even think it was a question for Coach McAlexander for who he wants to go back out there. We still have Levi Story in the bullpen warming up for if Layden gets in a little trouble. But so far from what we've seen in this game, I don't really expect a lot of trouble to be seen from Layden.
1-1 the count on Logan Davis. Tyler Reidy and Max Coughlin on the call here for game 1 of 2 on this Monday night. As the 1-1 pitch, Davis is up and away. 2 balls, 1 strike. The final line for Cropdusters starting pitcher Thatcher Poteet. He went 4 2/3 innings, allowing 2 hits, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. He allowed 5 runs, 2 of them earned, as this is swung on and deflected. 2-2. Logan Davis 0 for 1 with a strikeout looking in the 3rd. One of Layden's 3 strikeouts as he fouls off another one. Still 2-2. Another 2-2 coming to Logan Davis. Got the outside corner. Dropped the off-speed pitch in perfectly. And Davis goes down looking for a second time to begin the 6th.
So far, Zane Layden sitting at 4 strikeouts now today. We've seen a lot of those strikeouts. I would probably say 2 out of those 4 strikeouts now have been on that curveball, just dropping right in the zone. Able to control that curveball well. What not many pitchers really able to do in this league is control that off speed in many different counts. And so far, through 65 pitches, Zane Layden has so far been able to do that.
Another fine off-speed pitch for strike 1 to Jack Tilton as we go back to the top of the order. On the outside for strike 2. Tilton doubled and scored in the 1st inning, then flew out to center in the 3rd as he falls behind 0-2. Fly ball, left field, carrying and over the head of Nico Saul. This will be another extra base hit. It's a double-double game for Jack Tilton as he's on with 1 out.
Big-time hit for Jack Tilton. Kind of in the same spot as his first hit of the game. That one was more solidly hit than the very first one, but nonetheless, great hit by Jack Tilton. The wind might have had a little impact on that one as the wind is blowing straight out at about 11 miles an hour to the left side. But nonetheless, great hit for Jack Tilton to start that inning with a hit.
So let's see if the Cropdusters, after giving up 2 in the bottom of the 5th, can scratch and claw something back, as this is lined into center by Cade Owens. Catch is made out there by Black. And Tilton gets to 3rd. So now they run 90 feet away with 2 down. It'll be up to Javon Suarez to try and drive in his 2nd run of the game.
Now batting, the shortstop from Heston Community College, number 14, Javon Suarez.
Suarez drove in the only Cropduster run of the game with a ground out to 3rd back in the 1st, and then popped out to 1st base in the 4th, as we'll have a quick meeting between pitcher and catcher. Layden and Julin will talk things over. Layden trying to put a wrap on 6 innings of 1-run baseball in 98-degree temperatures here in Omaha. One of the more impressive performances we've seen from any player to start the season. Suarez will try to put a dent in his line. Here comes the first pitch to him, as it is on the outside corner for strike one.
One thing Zane Layden has done so far this game is paint those corners perfectly. We've seen him paint the inside half. We've seen him paint on the outer half on righties and both lefties. He's not afraid to go inside on righties or lefties, which is a big thing to do and is a big thing for a pitcher.
Off speed, Suarez way out in front, and it's now 0-2. Suarez will adjust the batting gloves, take a deep breath, and step back in. Layden ready with the 0-2. That is fouled back over the Cropduster dugout and back toward their bullpen. So it remains 0-2. Cropdusters 1 run on 4 hits, 2 errors. Bombers with 5 runs, 3 hits, no errors. Now the 0-2. In the dirt, and a good take by Suarez as the count goes to 1-2.
Tyler, if Layden can get out of this inning right here without any damage being done, I wouldn't honestly be surprised if we saw him go out one more inning. He's sitting at currently 71 pitches, not that much. He just has to get out of this inning right here with an out or a strikeout.
2-2 the count, and as you look at the upcoming schedule, there is the off day on Wednesday, the universal off day. Royal Blue Dogs coming up tomorrow for the Bombers, and the Black Sox Thursday and the Rail Riders Friday. So we'll see how aggressive they want to be with the starting pitcher. The 2-2, swing and a miss. He struck him out. It is 6 innings of 1-run baseball for Zane Layden, and it's 5-1 Bombers to the bottom of the 6th. What a day for the Bombers starting pitcher.
6 innings, Saul, Weber, and Black.
Bottom of the 6th inning. Bombers lead 5-1 as their 4, 5, and 6 hitters will come to the plate, led by the left fielder Nico Saul. He's 0 for 1. Walked, stole a base, and scored in the first, and then grounded out to second on the first pitch in the 4th. Kate Owens back to work for the Cropdusters as he gets a foul tip for strike 1. We remind you, coming up at 8 o'clock, right after the conclusion of this one, we'll have the Royal Blue Dogs and the Haymakers going head-to-head on this Monday night, and then 2 more games on the slate tomorrow, Tuesday Night Baseball. And the Corn Belt League YouTube channel as the 0-1 pitch from Owens is swung on and missed. He's ahead 0-2 against the cleanup man. You see some of the players getting ready to go for our upcoming matchup as the 0-2 swings outside, and it's 1-2. Owens came in with 2 outs in the 5th inning as this is up and away. 2-2 the count. As the 2-2 is outside, and Saul has done a nice job. Plate discipline has brought the count from 0-2 back to 3-2.
Tyler, Cade Owens came into this game kind of an unfortunate situation, had two runners in scoring positions, had to do his best to get that one out.
High fly ball, right field, but it will be caught. A nice running catch by the center fielder, Copeland. Looked like it might be Horner's ball all the way, but Copeland came flying in with the hat coming off and everything. He makes the catch just in front of the warning track, and we've been talking about it all day, Max. You never know what kind of adventure will await with the wind and the heat. Ball could carry all sorts of ways, but nice job by Copeland to get there.
Tyler, I don't doubt Copeland maybe ran 40 yards to get that ball. That was like in deep right center.
There's a strike to Caleb Lemon. Yeah, that's where you'd like to have StatCast to see like catch probability, route efficiency. They're all probably pretty good for Copeland as he tracked that one down, as Owens tracks down a pair of strikes against Caleb Lemon, and he's ahead 0-2.
I would say, Tyler, if we had StatCast here, maybe even like a Rapsodo or a TrackMan for the Corn Belt League, I think that'd be a pretty cool feature we could have.
Oh, no doubt. This has popped up behind short, and nearly a collision out there. That was in shortstop territory, but it was Tilton who wanted it, and he makes the catch for the second out.
Now batting, the center fielder from Doane University.
So now the center fielder, Tanner Black.
Tanner Black.
Owens doing a nice job pitching to contact and getting outs quickly here in the bottom of the sixth. Tanner Black, the center fielder, digs in. First pitch from Owens. Swing and a miss. The high heater for strike one. Black was hit by a pitch and stole second back in the first, and then grounded into a 6-4-3 double play to end the fourth inning. The 0-1. He reaches out, pokes it into right, but a running catch will be made by Horner. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Owens. To the top of the seventh we go. Bombers looking to seal the deal on their third win of the season. 3 outs away when we come back.
Bombers 5, Cropdusters 1.
Top of the seventh inning. The day is done for Zane Layden. He goes 6 innings, allowing only 1 run and striking out 5. He gives way to Levi Story to close things out with a 5-1 lead for the Bombers. Story out of Bellevue University making his first appearance of the season. He'll get the 4, 5, 6 hitters, Comfort, Copeland, and Kozel. Cropdusters need 4 to tie it. So, Max, what are you looking for from Story to try and finish this thing off and get the record back to 500 for the Bombers?
Biggest thing for Story right here is to just close off what Zane Layden started. And Zane Layden with probably one of the best starts of the season so far around the entire league, maybe behind Evan Heeb yesterday. But nonetheless, Zane Layden with a great outing. Levi Story's biggest job right here, just to get 3 outs, try to minimize as much as possible with the lead. He can pitch with the lead. They're up by 4, so even if 1 or 2 runs do come in, they still got that lead. And Levi Story in a good situation right here to get 3 big outs and win this game and put them in the 500 spot.
First pitch strike to Anthony Comfort, the first baseman. He flew out to right in the first and doubled in the fourth. Knuckles this one foul to make it 0-2. That is a good sign for the Cropdusters. Trying to get that offense going. Their OPS coming into the game was at 404, but they've doubled 3 times, 1 by Comfort and 2 of them from Jack Tilton, the leadoff man. With only 1 run to show for it. As this is swung on and missed, and Comfort slams the bat into the dirt. He's the first out of the 7th. And the first strikeout victim of Story.
Biggest thing for the Cropdusters here, if they want any life in this game, is they just got to string something together. If that means they got to look at pitches to get runners on base with walks, if they got to get hit by pitches, they got to do anything they can to help the team out in Team ABs, just to try to get someone on and string anything they can possible.
Copeland on 2 bounces to second, and a second out as Rebecca Lair makes the play. And the Bombers are 1 out away from taking the win here on this Monday evening. It'll be up to Trayton Kozel, the left fielder, batting from the left side, trying to keep this alive. Kozel has flied out to center field twice today, once in the second and again in the fourth. First pitch to him is low, ball 1. Now the 1-0 pitch is on the outside. Count even at 1-1. We remind you, coming up in just about an hour and 10 minutes at 8 o'clock p.m., we'll have the second of our 2 games today, the Royal Blue Dogs and the Haymakers. As the 1-1 pitch outside, 2 balls and 1 strike to Kozel. And then 2 more games tomorrow, 5 o'clock and 8 o'clock for those ones as well. So we'll have the Rail Riders and Cropdusters first. That's inside to make it 3-1. And then the Royal Blue Dogs and Bombers at 8 o'clock. So 3 of the 4 teams that you'll see tonight, you'll see again tomorrow, with the Rail Riders being the new addition. Here comes the 3-1 to Kozel. Low and away, ball 4, so the inning will be extended for the extra hitter, Barrett Ringel.
Nothing really hurt there for Levi Story. Just 1 walk with 2 outs. You have Barrett Ringel 0 for 2 on the day so far with a strikeout and a soft ground out to the left side. So if I was Levi Story here, you just got to attack as much as you can, throw strikes, and just got to get out of this game right here with 1 more out to go.
First pitch to Ringel, and that hit him. Wasn't sure whether it got his elbow or the knob of the bat, but it did get a piece of him, and now the tying run moves into the on-deck circle as the catcher Nathan Wickham digs in.
Barrett Ringel didn't really look like he sold it that hard. He kind of maybe thought it hit his bat, just stood in the box a little bit, but both umpires looked at each other and agreed that it hit his hand. So
now things have gotten away from Story just a little bit here. As he'll face Nathan Wickham, the catcher. And that hits him. And the tying run is coming to the plate. In the blink of an eye, Story goes walk, hit by pitch. And now Caleb Horner digs in with the bases loaded.
Like I mentioned in the very beginning of this inning, Tyler, the Cropdusters, if they want any life in this game, they got to do everything impossible that they can do to get runners on base and just string anything together. And so far, Levi Story has just given it to them. 2 hit batters in a row, a walk and then 2 hit batters, puts the bases loaded, and right now Cropdusters seems like they have a little life left in them to try to come back and maybe even tie this game.
And for Story, the last page has taken a long time to write here, as the bases are now juiced up with 2 outs for Caleb Horner, the right fielder.
Looks like for the Bombers, Gage Julin, the catcher, he went off the field. He was.
Oh,
It
yeah.
looked like he was wiping his nose a little bit. Maybe had a bloody nose on that last pitch, but it looks like he's getting checked up on right now.
You can see him a little bit in the dugout there. So we've got a brief delay.
And they do have another catcher on the team, Josh Poston, which is the extra hitter today. He could go out there. He is the other catcher for the Bombers, but I can't really see inside that dugout right now to really see what's going on. But I know it is something with his nose. Saw him walking off the field, wiping his nose. So maybe a bloody nose just had to be attended to for a little bit.
And we will take a quick break, however long it is, as we wait for Julian to return to the field. Gage Julian back on the field. Bases are loaded now. We've got Coughlin at third, Ringel at second, and Thatcher Coughlin is the pinch runner over there at first. And that one sails over the head of the batter, Horner, and it will score a run. Boy, Story is all over the place in this 7th inning, and now it's a 5-2 game. First base opens up.
Biggest thing for Levi Story right now is you just got to take a breath. Step off the mound a little bit. You're still up 5-2 now. You're up by 3. 2 outs are on the board. You have the 1-0 count right now. You just got to take a breath and realize the situation that you're in. You're only 1 out away from winning this ball game.
That one in the dirt. Julian does well to block it. 2 balls, no strikes. Story just trying to scratch and claw his way out of this one. His command does not seem to be there after he got 2 very quick outs to start the inning. The 2-0 pitch. Now he's back in the strike zone. It's 2-1. Looks like we've got a pinch runner over at third base as well. In addition to Coughlin at second, Dakota Hogan is pinch running. And a little half swing pop-up. Foul back toward the Haymaker team, preparing to take the field at the conclusion of this game.
Tyler, I don't want to jinx anything, but the wind is blowing out to left field, and we got a righty up to bat. Tying run up to bat, matter of fact.
You never know. He's getting the ball in the air on these foul balls. We've seen a couple of these shots to the outfield carry today. Some doubles to the left field wall by the Cropdusters. There was the deep fly out to right center field by Nico Saul that was tracked down by Copeland. Now the 2-2 pitch. Did he go? He didn't. And it's a 3-2 count. That was about as close as it gets. We don't have umpires at the corner bases, so it's up to the judgment of the home plate umpire and the second base umpire. Here comes the 3-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out, and the ball game is over. Final score 5-2. The Bombers win. They improved to 3-3, and the Cropdusters fall to 1-5 in the first of our 2 games here on this Monday evening. Max, final thoughts on this one? It got interesting at the end.
Tyler, I want to mention Zane Layden. Amazing start for him. 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 5 strikeouts on the day for Zane Layden. 75 pitches at a 65% pitch percentage. So I think the biggest story of the day today was pitching. On the other hand, you have the Cropdusters. Thatcher Poteet had 4 2/3 innings work of pitch. He was the one that had the 5 runs. Only 2 of them were earned on the day, 5 strikeouts. So I would definitely mention that the pitchers had their days, one being on the struggling side, one being on the positive side. But nonetheless, I think it was a great game all around from the Bombers.
Royal Blue Dogs and Haymakers coming up next. You see the Haymakers warming up there. 5-2, the win for the Bombers as they take down the Cropdusters. We'll be right back to talk to today's winning pitcher, Zane Layden, after this. Bombers win it 5-2 over the Cropdusters behind a 3-run first inning and 2 big insurance runs in the 5th that got dicey in the 7th, but Bombers pulled out in the end to even their record up at 3-3. And we've got today's winning pitcher with us, Zane Layden. Zane, your final line today, 6 innings, just 3 hits. You didn't walk anybody, struck out 5 and earned the win. But before we get into the outing, just tell me what it was like out there pitching in that 98-degree heat.
It was pretty hot, just drink a lot of water in the dugout, like 3 cups every time. Just got to hit your spots, just keep pitching.
Yeah, so what was working for you today? The biggest thing I would say was the no walks. That's something that we saw in the first inning when your team was able to score 3 runs. They were walked 4 times, but you had none through 6 innings. So what was working for you today?
Yeah, you just got to focus on hitting your spots, trying to get on top of the count, get 0-1, 0-2, and then work from there. And that's been my goal, just not give up any walks and then trust your defense.
Now, back on Thursday, you threw 4 scoreless innings as well. Didn't allow a walk in that one either. How much confidence does that allow you to build when you have a start like that and then just continue that dominance today?
Yeah, it's just got to stay confident in yourself. Don't let anything get to you mentally and do the best you can.
And then last thing before we let you go, celebrate the outing with your team. When you see 1 run put up by the Cropdusters in the top of that first inning, but then your offense comes back and gets 3 right away, kind of sets the tone. You're able to settle down the rest of the day. How nice was that first inning for you?
Oh, yeah. It's anytime we get runs back, especially after giving up 1 in the first, it's easy to trust your offense. Don't walk anybody. Try and let them hit it, I guess.
All right. Well, Zane Layden, congratulations, man.
Appreciate it.
Heck of an outing.
Thank
6
you.
scoreless innings, 1-run innings, but he gets the win. He's our winning pitcher today as the Bombers take it 5-2. And that'll do it for us here on the Corn Belt League YouTube channel. We'll be back at 8 p.m. for the Royal Blue Dogs and the Haymakers coming up next.